in this next segment, talk to on this Patrick Murray versus Jim Moran race in Virginia, where Moran said, oh, my opponent, see, he's typical, doesn't have any public service. His opponent is a 24-year Army veteran with 4 wars under his belt. No public service, Jim Moran? How much of a kook are you? We'll play that and talk to Mr. Murray himself when we come back. 877-84-ROGER. Just take your calls as well on the web at rogerhedgecock.com. Back after this. Now, in the northern Virginia suburbs of Washington, D.C., there is Virginia's 8th congressional district. It's Arlington County, parts of Fairfax County, and Alexandria, Falls Church, etc. It went for Obama 70-30. It is highly populated by federal workers and state workers, for that matter, and is a very, very liberal district. It is represented now by Democrat Jim Moran, who has been a very vociferous anti-Bush, anti-military guy. He's like Bob Filner, he's one of these socialist progressive guys. Well, he's being challenged, and effectively challenged this time around, by a Republican named Patrick Murray. Patrick Murray grew up in Oklahoma, the son of a single mom, and went off to Oklahoma State University and enrolled in ROTC, got a commission as a second lieutenant, and went out to spend 24 years in active duty in the United States Army, retiring as a colonel in the Army. He was in a lot of wartime areas, Iraq, Kosovo, Bosnia, Serbia, into Russia, at Belarus and places like that. He was there in 2007 in Iraq during the surge. And his final tour of duty was at the United Nations as a member of the U.S. Military Staff Committee there. And he now lives in Alexandria, Virginia, and is as a congressional candidate in this 8th district against the incumbent, again, Jim Moran. Mr. Murray, welcome to the program. I'm glad you're there.
Good evening, Roger. What a pleasure to be on tonight.
I'm glad that you're there. I really am, and I love the way you're campaigning. Now, tell us a little bit about the race, because you're in such an impossibly liberal Democrat district.
Well, I appreciate that, Roger. It is an uphill battle. We came into this with our eyes open, but I have to tell you, we are peaking at the exact correct time. We are part of a national dialogue here where people, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, are tired of the almost $14 trillion of debt in which we're drowning, and the fact that we continue to spend more and more and more money, and they realize that it's career politicians like my opponent, Jim Moran, who are foursquare behind that. And Jim makes no bones about the fact that he will continue to earmark money as much as he possibly can and continue to raise our taxes and spend our money. And people here are realizing that there's a better way to go about things, and that's why we're running for Congress.
Well, it's a great platform, and you're absolutely right in criticizing his record, which is the record of Barack Obama and Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi, the record of asserting that if only we borrowed enough money from China, we could restart our economy and solve the recession. That doesn't seem to be working out too well. How's it? Though I've been in the Washington area, and it seems to be working out great for the bureaucrats there.
Well, there is a divide, Roger, but I will tell you, as I tell the people here, and I spend a lot of time, as you mentioned, I had a career in the military, so I believe from an Army perspective, boots on the ground are important, and that's what we focused our campaign around. And I'm out every day, early in the morning at the metro stops till late in the evening at the grocery stores, and people, whether they're private sector or whether they're government employees, have these same concerns, and they're concerned about their retirement. They're concerned about the level of debt that we're going to dump on our kids who had no say in this whatsoever, and they realize that Jim Moran has lost touch, and there's an arrogance of power about his office, and they're ready for a change.
Patrick Murray, the nominee, the Republican nominee in this Congressional District 8 in Northern Virginia. Now, the other day, this race came to my attention, Mr. Murray, because of a statement made by Jim Moran, and I think we have that on tape.
And what they do is they find candidates, usually stealth candidates, that haven't been in office, haven't served and have performed in any kind of public service. My opponent is typical, frankly.
Now, I was as outraged as could be. I mean, if he had just said you hadn't served in public office, well, that's correct, and of course that's a plus this particular year. Incumbents are not too popular, but to go on to say that you had not served in served in public service, as he said, is an outrage given your 24 years in the United States Army and your honorable service in a number of war situations. I mean, you had to just hear that and go, what is he talking about?
Well, that is exactly correct. And what we've said, Roger, this isn't about me. This is about all of our service members, our veterans, and most important, our Gold Star families, our families who have lost loved ones in the service of their country and who now have to hear a sitting congressman, Roger, a congressman whose district includes what I consider to be the most hallowed ground in America, that of Arlington National Cemetery, to stand up there and say that military service is not public service. It doesn't mean anything. And we have had an outpouring of anger towards him and support towards us from veterans and people around the country, Roger. It's been very uplifting. And to that end, it is shown a light on where he is with a lot of his military votes. He consistently votes not to support our troops in Afghanistan. And when he made this statement about military service not being public service, I think it shows a pattern of behavior with Jim, and it's very unfortunate.
Patrick Murray, the Republican nominee in CD8 in Virginia, the Congressional District 8, and the incumbent, Jim Moran, how many years has he been there?
Well, too many. He's been in 20 years, 2 decades. And he wants yet another term. The debt, Roger, the debt was about $3 trillion when he came in. It's a heck of a lot higher now. Traffic was a lot better in Northern Virginia. If you've ever been here, you know how bad it is now. And he's had a lot to do with that. And I can't find any signature legislation that he's been behind in 20 years. And it is time for him to go. It is time to have a better way. We need leadership, integrity, and courage back in Congress so that we can tackle some of these difficult issues, from the debt to entitlement reform to dealing with our national security issues and everything else that he is pushing off and not dealing with.
Patrick Murray. Now, Patrick, tell us where we can get more information and help you out. Do you have a website?
We indeed do. It's www.murrayforcongress.com. My last name, Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y. Please go visit our website, and we are welcome the opportunity to be on your show, Roger. It's 8 short days. We are going to win this race, and we're going to start taking this country back on November the 2nd, 2010.
All right, Patrick Murray is reachable at Murray4, Congress.com. Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y, 4, Congress.com. Patrick, good luck. God bless. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Roger. God bless to you and all of your audience. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, so there's Patrick Murray. And I'm, again, I'm impressed. Here's a guy who hasn't been in public office, but he's got a great life story. He's got great experience. He's got wisdom coming out of some years spent doing some hard things that we can sorely use in the United States Congress to get this Congress back in contact with the people it's supposed to represent.